Good afternoon. Hope everyone's doing well. Welcome to another Ask the Trainer. My name is Chris Souza, fitness officer from King Campus. Today we'll be joined by Sarah Donato, who is our sports performance coach for our varsity athletes. Today's topic is going to be all about protein and getting good, complete sources of protein. So we'll talk a little bit about what protein is, and I'm just going to let Sarah in here. How to get complete sources of it. Give me 1 second. Sorry, guys. I'm just going to get out of this page. All right. So we're just going to wait for Sarah, but I'll kind of just go over the topic like I said. I'm going to try this one more time. All right. Nope, that wasn't it. Yes, that was it. We'll see. I think she's joining us from the soccer account. But we'll be talking about our sources of protein, kind of where we get most of our protein sources during the day, how we add it to meals and stuff like that. Hey, Sarah, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. Sweet hoodie. I like it.
Thank you. I got the
Yeah, I got soccer on mine too. Awesome. Sorry about that. I had it was asking me to like join different people in different rooms, and I think we're good to go now. We're good to go. Awesome.
So
Thanks for joining us.
no problem.
So I guess we can start just by talking a little bit about what protein is, right? A lot of people might not actually know what protein is or how to get complete sources of protein. So I think that's important to look at. It's not just the types of protein we're getting, but we want to make sure we're getting a complete protein, which means it's got all 9 essential amino acids, right?
Yeah.
So I know for me, my main sources of protein are usually from eggs, from animal products and meat, chicken, beef. Dairy is a good complete source, and they're very digestible as well, right?
Yeah.
You got to take a look at that too. There's quality and quantity when it comes to protein. Like I said, some sources, it might say, if you look at the back of it and you look at the calories, it might say there's 6 grams of protein, but it might not be a complete protein source.
Yeah. Which is actually what I wanted to touch base on the amino acids, which like for someone like Chris, you could see he's a bigger guy, is pretty jacked. So for him, where I am like more of like trying to lean out. So we have different kind of sources of protein. I eat more vegan. So my sources of protein are more like lentils, beans, soy, tofu, and I do a lot of hemp seeds, chia seeds. But the amino acids, I wanted to touch base on that. So a lot of people just like hear protein and they're just like, okay, bulk, bulk, bulk. But you could intake a lot of protein, and what you said is, but are you getting that right protein? Are you absorbing the protein? And pretty much protein, that's like the gateway to get protein into our body. So amino acids are that branch of a chain of acids that it actually breaks down the protein and lets it absorb into our body to be able to process it. So the best actual form of protein would be, like you said, eggs. So eggs have the highest protein digestibility. So if you want to get protein into your body quick and fast, eggs are the best way to do it. And whey protein. Whey protein is not vegan, but I think a lot of people that would pertain to. I think the best protein powder for me is Vega protein, which is a pea protein. And the Vega Sport has 33 grams per scoop, which is crazy. It's hard I've done a little bit of research on it, but I find that's the best one for vegans and vegetarians out there. But if you want to get the most bang for your buck, whey protein, it would be where it's at.
Yeah, for sure. The vegan protein, it's really hard to come by one that's got 30 more than 30 grams per scoop, right? Because a lot of them, they don't have filler ingredients, but it's very hard to get that high protein content out of a vegan protein. But the Vega, that's why it's a bit more on the pricey side, right?
Yeah.
And there's I believe they add leucine to it as well, but like a vegan source of leucine.
Yeah.
So you get what you pay for, like you said. It's going to be hard to come across a vegan protein that has more than 20 grams per scoop. And sometimes if you read the label, it's actually 2 scoops. So if you're watching your calories, obviously the whey protein is going to be your best bet, or if you can find actually egg white protein as well, because it's lower on calories. You know, the protein's more isolated. With a vegan protein, it's going to come along with carbs and a little bit of fat as well.
Yeah.
But there are some sources of complete vegan protein. So quinoa has all 9 essential amino acids. Like you said, hemp seeds do as well. And I think chia seeds.
Yeah. Chia seeds,
But that's, what's that?
chia seeds are really high in protein too.
Mm-hmm.
Or is it chia seeds, flax seeds, hemp seeds? Hemp seeds is one of the big ones too.
Yeah, and they, like I said, they have all the amino acids, which is hard to come by. So it's good to have kind of a list, especially if you're a vegan or a vegetarian, have a list of the highest sources of protein in your diet, because you're gonna want to have more of those foods in your diet, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not to say you can't get enough protein, because what you can do is actually combine 2 incomplete protein sources in a meal or even throughout the day, and it gives you what's called a complementary protein. So they're both lacking certain amino acids to be a complete protein.
Yeah.
But combined together, they have all the essential amino acids that you need, right?
Yeah.
So food combining is a great way. Like brown rice, broccoli, quinoa already has enough amino acids on its own, but if you eat it with other veggies, hummus and like a whole wheat bread, same thing. They're gonna combine and make a compatible protein. So it's not to say that you can't do it. It just takes a bit more planning for sure ahead of time. So I know a lot of people are, you know, they make fun of vegan protein or vegan lifters, but you can put a substantial amount of muscle mass on if you do it the right way, and if you do a little bit of planning ahead of time.
Yeah.
What are some tricks that you do to make sure you get enough protein?
So I definitely have my BCAAs, which I find that helps a lot because I don't always get I don't have the time to like plan out my meal planning as much, which I wish I did, because that's like the key to like the results when it comes to weight training. But yeah. I find BCAAs helps a lot. And then when I intake my protein, so pre-workout, post-workout, which makes a difference, right? Within 30 minutes of working out, you're going to have your metabolism working at the highest level. You're going to be able to intake that protein a lot better. So when you have your elevated insulin, so your insulin spikes, which is when you're working out, that happens, your muscle's able to absorb the amino acids, which therefore you're going to be able to intake that protein quicker. So I do BCAAs and I do my protein scoop right when I'm done my workout. I find that helps a lot. And then I honestly tons of quinoa. I eat tons of brown rice, and then like having cereal like in the morning. If I do like Vector or like Special K, I'll add in like hemp seeds and chia seeds. Some people find it gross. I'm not picky like that, so but I just throw it in there. Or even when I make a salad, chia seeds, flax seeds, hemp seeds, because you can't really taste it in the salad, I find. And then eating more acidic foods helps with digesting, breaking down protein. So like balsamic vinegar, you know, I'm Italian, so you know I love my balsamic vinegar. Orange juice, I started drinking a little bit more of that. And then vitamin B6, but I find if you're intaking a lot of protein, you're already getting vitamin B6. But if you're not intaking protein powders or really tracking it, vitamin B6 might be able to help you with that too, because that helps enzymes break down the protein as well.
Right. Yeah, you got to also like consider the absorption, like you're saying there, right? Yeah. So obviously you want to make sure you're eating a well-rounded diet. I know Canada's Food Guide for adults suggests 2 to 3 servings of meat a day, or meat alternatives a day, to get your protein sources. Because I'm not a registered dietitian, I won't go too far into that. But there are a lot of studies that kind of show that athletes, especially if they're weight training, they're going to need a little bit higher amount of protein.
Yeah.
But that's for everyone to kind of research on their own, to look at how much you're training and make sure you're matching that with your with how much protein you're going to need, because it does help with building muscle, maintaining muscle, and repairing muscle, right?
Yeah.
So it's a very important macronutrient for sure.
Yeah, I wanted to for people to just hear out like there's 30 grams of protein, and I wanted to give you an about like 10 examples of what has 30 grams.
Right. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, so there's chicken breast has 130 grams of protein. Grass-fed steak has 100 grams of protein.
And that's, I'm just gonna, 1 second. That's about like a fist size, or
Yeah,
usually one serving is.
yeah, yeah. So if you were to size that thickness, and that shape of it would be the size that you would be eating for a serving. Five whole eggs, 5 whole eggs, guys, is 30 grams, or that would be 30 grams of protein. So wait, that might be wrong actually. That one, I'm gonna look into that one. Egg whites, cod, shrimp, fish is great for protein. So fish is really, really high in protein, and it's low in saturated fat, which is really good. Canned tuna, edamame beans, protein powder.
Love edamame beans.
Yeah, right. Ground Greek yogurt, cottage cheese. I love cottage cheese. People think I'm weird for that one.
Pineapple cottage cheese is a good little good combo.
I'm not vegan, but I try to eat vegan, but I love my cottage cheese. Lentils, and then like a Quest bar or a Vega bar. I find those have a lot of protein in it too. So those are some examples of high protein foods.
Awesome. Yeah, and a lot of those you can take on the go, right? That's important too. Like for students or for staff at Seneca, if you're working all day on campus when things return to normal, you're going to want to bring stuff that you can bring just in your bag. Homemade protein bars, there's millions of recipes out there, and I promise you, once you learn how to make your own and kind of get into the habit of making your own, you won't go back, because they taste a lot better.
Yeah.
You know exactly what you're putting in them, and they're way cheaper, way cheaper. For even more, like I find if you make your own, you can get 20 grams per bar. And when you're going and buying, a protein bar at the grocery store, it might be coming with 15, 20 grams of protein. You're not really sure what sources they are, what's in it. So definitely try that out. There's a lot of recipes that we've posted on over the last couple months on kind of protein balls or protein bars. So try that for sure. It's something you can just grab and throw it in your lunch bag.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that and if people have questions, they can always reach out to us too, because we're more than happy to help. It kind of gets difficult. You can kind of dive into the beast of the belly with this. It's a lot of information to intake if you don't really know what you're looking to research, if that makes sense.
Yep.
I remember when I was looking what the heck? Like, do I just take a protein scoop? Like, how much do I take? But there's so much more to increasing and getting the most bang for your buck when you eat your protein, when to eat it, what kinds to eat it, just the things like drinking orange juice, or if you're gonna have a salad, put balsamic vinegar in it, things like that. Little tips and tricks will help you get more protein intake with that too.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's not a very easy task to kind of find out what protein powder you like, or the best thing you do is go to a nutrition store, one that's pretty reputable. If you're an athlete, we should probably touch on that too. If you're an athlete, varsity athlete, you really want to make sure that any protein supplements that you're buying is NSF approved, which just means it's been third-party tested, right?
Yeah.
That way you're not taking anything that might be, some companies have in the past spiked their supplements. There's a lot of different ingredients that can be in protein powders that might bring up a positive test. So you always want to make sure you're erring on the side of caution. Make sure that your any supplements are NSF approved, which is, like I said, a third party that kind of batch tests everything to make sure it's all on board. So definitely keep an eye on that. And there's a lot of, if you go to a supplement store, you might feel like you're being a little bit intimidated. So do your research before you go, because there's so many protein powders out there now.
Yeah.
It's a good thing because there's a lot of selection, but at the same time, you get overwhelmed, right? Back in the day, I remember there was maybe 3 companies that you had to choose from, and it tasted horrible. And now you have orange creamsicle and s'mores and Sour Patch Kid flavor. It's crazy, but it could be really overwhelming. But do your research before you go, so you don't feel pressured into buying something that you don't really know what's in it, or maybe you're spending too much money.
Yeah.
Definitely do your research online.
Yeah, and like reach out to us, Seneca Performance account, Seneca Newnham Rec account. Like Chris, what's your Instagram handle?
King Rec. It's the King Rec account. Yeah, yeah. And then the Newnham one as well. Newnham, Seneca Newnham Rec.
Accounts. Like you can send us a DM and we'll be more than happy to help you guys with any questions you guys have. Because like Chris said, it gets super overwhelming really quick if you don't know what you're really looking for. So reach out to us, use the resources you have around you to educate yourself on it, because it's a big part, right? We can be in the gym 6 days a week and you're not going to be getting any bigger and you're going, I'm working out so hard, but you have to fuel your body. Your fuel is your protein. Your protein is, it's the way that we feed our muscles. So it's important that you do it right.
Absolutely. All right. Awesome. Thank you very much for joining me.
No problem.
Enjoy the rest of your day. Everybody take care, be well. And yeah, I'm not sure who's up next week, but we'll be back here again with another topic. So
Yeah.
we'll see you then.
Ciao.
Take care.